Moms, dads, listen, I know there are millions of you out there that have a situation just exactly like she does. I'm going to talk to you about how to defuse that kind of screaming, defiant, rebellious teenager.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Stop hitting everybody!
Teenage tantrums.
You suck!
Janelle has called me a bitch, a whore.
Tearing a family apart.
Janelle has completely worn me down.
Janelle has kicked a hole in the wall, smashed her phone, and told a police officer to, quote, go kill yourself.
I can't take it anymore.
It's like I black out and that there's someone telling me to say that, and I don't know what to do.
She just doesn't know how to stop.
I don't want to feel this way. Be so psycho. I don't want to live like this anymore.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. I've been around for a while, and I've done hundreds of shows with angry teenagers whose mom and dad dragged them here hoping to get a parenting pass.
Do not touch me. Get out of my way! Why would you do this?
I want my phone, I want my purse, and I want my mother.
Shut the up! I hate you! As soon as I speak up or do something about it, I'm a criminal!
It's always my fault.
Tell me get the out of my room! Get out!
Jennifer reached out to me about her 13-year-old daughter, Jonelle, describing how she has kicked a hole in the wall, smashed her phone, and told a police officer to, quote, go kill yourself. Now, I knew it was a story I was not only familiar with, but more than prepared to lean into and talk about.
I'm hitting everybody! Don't look at me! I hate you! You never care about anything! All you care about is yourself!
Well, I knew there had to be another side to Jonelle, so I decided to have a quick talk with her yesterday before all of this started, just to get an assessment of who I would really be dealing with. Take a look.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm okay. Tell me about you personally. I mean, who are you when you're not in a rage?
Well, when I'm not in a rage, I'm just this girl that's like loving her family and like hanging out with her friends and just someone that is very positive.
Tell me the happiest time in your life.
When I met my best friend.
Great. So you felt acceptance from her.
Yeah.
What do you hope from coming and talking to me?
I don't want to be this rude, raging, irritated person.
The phone you're talking to me on has a cracked screen, right?
Yeah, it's shattered on the front and back.
We don't want that anymore. We want to put that in our rearview mirror, okay?
Okay.
All right, later, Gator. See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Well, I'm going to speak more with Janelle when she joins us later in the hour. And as you can see, she does have within her behavioral repertoire to be nice, to be polite, to be appropriate, to be charming. But first, before I do talk to her, I need to have a frank and honest conversation with the one person whose job it is to help turn this around. It's not me, it's her mother, Jennifer.
My 13-year-old daughter, Janelle, has fits of anger that are explosive and out of control.
I'm hitting everybody!
When Janelle gets angry, she is like a whole nother person.
I wish everyone didn't exist!
She has called me a fat whore, a fat bitch. I'm a horrible mother.
You suck! You are the worst person to ever exist!
Last year in April, Janelle's dad passed away from cardiac arrest. When Janelle heard the news, she screamed like nothing I'd ever heard before. After Janelle's father passed away, her behavior started to increase.
Don't look at me!
Watch your mouth.
I hate you!
One of the absolute worst outbursts that Janelle had was back in the beginning of this year. I took her to school. I told her to get out, and she refused. She started yelling and screaming at the principal. A female sheriff went over to the truck. Janelle was screaming at the sheriff as she was threatening to punch her in the face. They decided that they needed to take her to the mental hospital. I was called about 5 hours later. I went and picked her up, and about 10 minutes down the road, she goes, "You know how I said I apologized to that sheriff? I didn't mean it. She deserved everything I said and did to her."
You never care about anything! All you care about is yourself!
Just a few weeks ago, I had tried to enroll her into a intensive behavioral therapy program, and all of a sudden she just started screaming at me.
No!
She decided to do a karate chop and kicked a hole right in my wall.
She recently had become obsessed with wanting to get a new bed. When Janelle realized she wasn't gonna get the bed, she was in such a rage that she took her cell phone and threw it on the ground and shattered it. My fear is that she could possibly hurt somebody or herself. We discussed it.
I've been getting this stuff.
Janelle has completely worn me down. I'm physically and mentally exhausted. I can't do it anymore.
Jennifer,
Hi.
I'm so glad you're here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. I'm very nervous.
I really am, and you're going to be glad you're here. Because this is not about throwing you under the bus. This is about getting you some help. So you're going to get a lot of up close and personal focus on this situation, right?
Right.
I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. And for all of you at home, let me get your attention for a second. Moms, dads, listen, I know there are millions of you out there that have a situation just exactly like she does. Hear me today. You own this situation. You teach your children how to behave. You teach your children what to do and when to do it. You pay them off for it. You reward them for it. And I'm going to tell you today how not to do that anymore. So call your friends, get out a pen and a pad, do whatever you need to, and pay attention. Because today I'm going to talk to you about how to defuse that kind of screaming, belligerent, defiant, rebellious teenager. This is school. Jennifer is an example. You are the teaching tool today. You got that?
I'm okay. I'm good.
And you understand she didn't just start doing this for no reason. And people don't do things that they don't get a payoff for, right? Mm-hmm. Are you paying her off for this?
Absolutely.
And how?
I let her get away with it. I do everything I can to stop the situation.
You say you're not really a parent, you're Janelle's caretaker.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Okay. No. I mean, I didn't. No, you can play. All I'm saying is I'm not saying that I'm not her caretaker, or I'm not her parent. I'm not just her caretaker, but there hasn't been a lot of rules. There's not been a lot of structure for not just Janelle, but, growing up.
You say this stuff. I don't. You think I just sat down and got a typewriter and said,
no,
Janelle's caretaker?
Not. Absolutely not.
I took that directly from what you said.
Okay.
You said there's not much structure or rules.
That's true.
You did say that.
Absolutely.
Yes. That one you'll agree to.
Yeah.
Okay. You said there's no way to calm Janelle.
There is no way to calm her.
That's not true. You said I walk on eggshells.
Every day.
Just don't engage. It's easier, it's safer. You just don't, because you don't know what's going to trigger her, right?
True.
You aren't very close.
We're not super close, but we are close. I mean,
Why did you say we aren't very close?
Well, we're not as close as we could be. We're not. You're right. I'm sorry. I mean, I've said a lot of things the past few days. I probably did say that.
No, you didn't probably say it. You said it.
Okay, I said it.
No, you did.
Right.
Don't disagree with me because I'm saying you did.
No.
I'll get the tape and play it for you.
No.
I'm just wanting you to see your overall attitude in writing.
Right.
Because these are things that you say.
Right.
You said
we are not very close.
She can't talk to me.
That's true.
You say I confiscate. You're talking about her phone and all, but then you give in after a few hours.
Correct.
You say you parent out of guilt.
Mm-hmm.
You say I don't punish to avoid a meltdown.
Correct.
You said it's easier to give in. Confiscate, give in. Easier to give in. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to enforce.
That's true.
She blames herself for that, by the way, not you. She says, I'm impossible.
She is.
She says, when I go into a rage, it can last 8 hours. You can't talk to me. I'm impossible. She says, it's like I have this person inside me telling me to do all of these things, and I can't control it. I can't stop. I'm impossible to talk to. She actually doesn't blame you, but she has gotten to you.
I can't take it anymore.
No, I don't.
Yes, you.
No, I don't.
Okay, seriously? Yes, you do. No, you don't.
Right.
Yes, you do. This sounds like 2 5-year-old kids on the playground. And later,
We do, though, Dr. Phil.
you do. I'm not
No, but
talking
she
to
does
you.
as well.
I'm not talking to you right now.
Okay.
You brought her to talk to me, and
I'm sorry.
there's a pattern you guys are in. And I've got 6 video clips, and they pulled 6 of them for me. And I said, they're all the same. You could
Pretty much, yeah.
You could just pick any one of them. Let's take a look so we see the pattern.
What has she done to you?
Everything.
What?
Everything.
Stop, Janelle.
No.
Enough.
No.
Enough.
No.
You need
You're
to
enough.
stop. You need to stop.
I don't have to listen to you.
You
I
need.
don't have to
Yes,
listen
you
to you.
do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Stop arguing with me.
Okay, seriously, listen to this pattern here.
You
I
need.
don't have to
Yes,
listen
you
to
do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No,
You
I
need.
don't have to
Yes,
listen
you
to
do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Stop arguing with me.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Stop arguing with me.
Are you 5 years old?
No, I'm no. Well, maybe at that point, at that moment.
Yes, you do. No, you don't.
Right.
Yes, you do. No, you don't. Yes, you do. No, you don't. This sounds like 2 5-year-old kids on the playground.
When I hear it like that, yeah, you're right. It does.
Well, when you hear it like that, is there any other way to hear it?
No, I mean when you're playing it back for me and I'm not actually in that particular moment doing it.
You're
to
enough.
stop. You need to stop.
I don't have to listen to you.
You
I
need.
don't have to
Yes,
listen
you
to
do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
Stop arguing with me.
I got 6 more.
No, that's okay. That's enough.
I can play for you. They're all the same. I mean, do you get my point? She has pulled you down to a level of engaging that's very base. This is very fundamental. She's pulled you down to that level where you've stopped being the adult and you're in a 5-year-old, 6-year-old playground argument.
You're absolutely right. But the problem is, Dr. Phil, when even if I don't, I mean, she can be in these rages and I completely ignore her, and she will. I try not to engage. I know it doesn't look like that in the videos, you know, but when I do just not listen, ignore her, that's when she will throw things. That's when she will continue this screaming, and she's trying to get me to engage. I mean, I understand that. And I just get to a point where I end up like this.
She's running the show. She
absolutely is running the show.
I want you to understand something called the frustration effect, okay? So let's say she's running along here and this is bad behavior, okay? And this is time on this axis here. Okay, so she's running along and she's giving you bad behavior and you stop engaging right here. You stop engaging, say, okay, I'm not gonna do it. So you think, okay, so now I'm not rewarding her, so she's gonna quit, right? That's what you're telling me, Dr. Phil, stop doing that. You know what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is her bad behavior is going to spike. It's gonna go right here. That's called the frustration effect. It's like, you don't do what I want you to do, and this isn't working, okay, I'll jack it up. I'll jack it up. It's like a kid throws a tantrum in the floor and you go, okay, I'm gonna pay attention. They say, okay, fine. now I'll throw up. You go, well, then throw up. I'm not going to pay attention to it. Oh, really? I'll gag. And now they start gagging and can't breathe. Now I got you.
Right.
And it goes up. But what happens is it goes up and it goes up, but eventually when they realize it's not working, it goes down to 0. And they try something different. It's the frustration effect. Very clear, very well documented. Now, Janelle's half-sister, Chloe, claims Janelle takes her rage out on her most because unlike her mother, Chloe doesn't put up with Janelle's crap. Well, we'll meet Chloe and find out what she's doing to reward the situation after the break.
Janelle has called me a bitch, a whore. She's told me to kill myself.
You're stupid, you're worthless.
My biggest fear with Janelle is that she doesn't know her own strength. I don't know how far she's willing to go.
I'm joined today by a family pushed to the breaking point by the unbridled anger and rage of its youngest member, 13-year-old Janelle. Her half-sister, Chloe, says Janelle is aggressive, nasty, mean, and she does it to everybody in the family, but particularly Chloe, because Chloe says she's really jealous of Chloe. Take a look.
My sister Janelle is aggressive, out of control, and very nasty. I am a main target of Janelle's behavior.
Hey, shut up, don't even stop. Janelle? Can't hear you. You're stupid, you're worthless.
Janelle is very jealous of the relationship that I had with her father, who was also my stepfather. When Janelle gets angry, she will make the comment that he wasn't actually my dad.
You're not even my sister. All this family does is cry.
Because look what you do, Janelle.
So are you.
Janelle has called me a bitch, a whore. She's told me to kill myself. I wish you were dead instead of dad.
I swear to God, Chloe, I will push you off the bridge.
During one of Janelle's latest flip-outs, she grabbed my head and my ear and kind of was like ripping my hair.
Chloe, stop texting your friends about me.
You need to stop.
No. Stop. Shut up.
Ever since my dad passed away, my mom has struggled to parent us. My mom just tries her best to keep the peace, and by doing that, it tends to just feed into the spoiling of Janelle. There's just so much negativity. It's very draining for me. My biggest fear with Janelle is that she doesn't know her own strength. I don't know how far she's willing to go.
Chloe, thanks for being here.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
You feel like you're getting pummeled in this situation, right? I mean, she targets you pretty much.
Yeah, she does. My dad, obviously, he was my stepdad, but he raised me since I was little. And him and I had a really close relationship. Like, I would say we were best friends.
Yeah.
And I noticed, like, after he passed away, the more I would talk about it, she would just always have, like, a comment or a remark to say about it. And I think that it just has shown, like, the result that, like, she was probably more jealous about, like, the relationship that I had with him.
Now, her rage didn't start with his death.
No.
It just got exponentially
Yes, absolutely.
worse,
yes.
right? And he died very suddenly.
Yes.
And how long ago?
18 months.
I'm very sorry for your loss, by the way.
Thank you.
Both
Thank
of you, very sorry for your loss. There's nothing more stressful than the death of a spouse or a child, and there's nothing more stressful than if it's sudden, unexpected. So I know that's been very difficult. And, you know, clearly that's driving a lot of what's going on with her.
Right.
She's kind of stuck in that anger phase of grief and doesn't know how to get out of that. And you just say you just don't buy into the Janelle show.
Yeah, I try
all.
my best not to. If she's ever, like, kind of in a mood and we're all like, ooh, like, we don't want to upset her. But for me, I hate having to do that and, like, being told to do that because I know it's just feeding into her behavior and it's just going to encourage her to do it even more.
She actually hates herself when she's in that mode, and then afterwards she feels like that's small. And so whereas a lot of kids do this and they don't own it. They blame everybody else. And she makes noises about blaming everybody. I hate everybody. I wish everybody would die. I wish everybody would go away, go jump off a bridge. I wish it was you instead of him, et cetera, et cetera. Truth of the fact, she owns that she's being inappropriate and that the rage is wrong and that you guys don't deserve this. She just doesn't know how to stop.
Right.
Yeah.
So coming up, I'm going to be meeting the young girl whose violent temper has brought her entire family to a standstill, all just kind of leaning back saying, God, what now? So Jonelle, this tyrant, this raging lunatic, is going to join us next. I think you'll be surprised at who you meet.
I have anger issues.
I hate you!
If you set me on fire, there's no way I'm going to stop. There's one part of me that's like a perfect angel, but then there's like another side of me that's like, I hate everyone.
I hate everyone!
When Janelle gets angry, her fuse is lit. It's just an instant explosion.
I hate everybody!
It's like Janelle leaves and a stranger comes in. I can't fight her.
Shut up! I'm tired of you!
I'm joined today by mother of three, Jennifer, and her 19-year-old daughter, Chloe, who both say the youngest member of their family, 13-year-old Janelle, has been verbally and physically attacking them ever since their father died suddenly of a heart attack last year. Now, we've heard stories about Jonelle. We've even heard taped recordings filled with screaming and cursing. But it's now time to meet her in person.
I'm here on Dr. Phil because I have anger issues.
I hate you!
I cuss at my family. I'm mentally abusive.
What are you gonna do about it?
If you set me on fire, there's no way I'm going to stop.
I don't have to!
When I get into my zone, it feels like there's another clone of me that is just punching me so hard, telling me to say this or punch a wall. Trust me, it is a nightmare.
You don't care! You never care about anything! All you care about is yourself!
There's one part of me that's like a perfect angel, but then there's like another side of me that's like, I hate everyone.
I hate everyone! I hate everyone!
I will start to shake, I'll hyperventilate. There's no way I can calm myself down. My raging will last up to about maybe 8 hours. When I rage, it'll be over the dumbest things. One time I was at my grandma's and I got so mad that I smashed my phone. This is the phone that I shattered. I just like slammed it on the ground. My sisters are definitely a target of mine.
You're worthless! Jump off a bridge!
I'll say, go kill yourself, jump off the bridge. I got mad at my mom one time because she was forcing me to do this program. I got so mad at her that I kicked a hole in my mom's wall. Last spring, I got so upset because I didn't want to go to school. The police came. I did flip off one of the officers, and I told her to go kill herself. I think my anger has gotten way worse since my dad passed away. I think my rage escalated because I lost my best friend. I never got to say goodbye to my dad, actually. I have this necklace with a little heart, and it has his ashes in it. My dad was a very good guy, and hopefully Dr. Phil can help me and my family.
Get down!
Stella, I'm glad I'm really glad you're here.
Thank you.
Tell me what about that makes you emotional.
I don't want to live like this anymore.
I'm sorry?
I don't want to live like this anymore. I want to be happy. I don't want to feel this way. I just want to be able to be around my family without having to be so psycho. And nothing is helping.
Do you wish your mother would die?
No, I don't.
You've said that to her.
I don't mean it. I can't control it. It's like I black out and then there's someone telling me to say that. and I don't know what to do.
You have cystic fibrosis, correct?
Yeah, I do.
And what do you think about that disease in terms of your life and how it's likely to impact you?
It puts a lot of pressure and stress on me because I have to deal with taking meds every day and always like doing these like breathing treatments, and the fact that like there's a lot of things that like I mean I'm a normal kid obviously, but it's like there are boundaries, and like if I'm in a hospital like getting needles all over my body, like I've had them in my head, my arm, my chest, and it's overwhelming, and I'm tired of it. Like I wish I wasn't born with it, and that's why I have told myself, like, I wish I wasn't born. I wish I was born in another world, because that way I wasn't born with all this. Because it puts a lot of stress on me, and that's another reason why. And I don't know what to do. It's just a lot.
We're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna come back, and I'm going to impose a different paradigm, a different set of rules on our conversation. It's going to seem like no big deal, but I promise you it is going to bring about a quantum shift in what happens in your interactions and what occurs going forward. We'll be right back.
Janelle is a snotty brat. She's used to getting what she wants and doesn't happen anymore.
Shut up, Mackenzie.
My mom just doesn't know what to do. She wasn't the one to calm Janelle down. It was always our dad. My fear is Janelle will get worse if she doesn't get help.
Well, I'm joined today by Jennifer, who says she wrote to me out of sheer desperation for her 13-year-old daughter, Janelle, whose fits of rage and violence accelerated after the sudden, tragic death of her father last year. Now, Janelle's oldest sister, Mackenzie, says despite being closest to Janelle, even she is not immune to her little sister's torrents of abuse.
When my sister Janelle gets angry, she becomes enraged and hateful. She's called me a fat whore. She's told me to go kill myself. It's hurtful.
Shut up, Mackenzie. This is none of your business. Shut your mouth! I swear!
In March, Janelle had a flip out. Janelle did punch me that night and tried to kick me. Once Janelle starts flipping out, my mom just doesn't know what to do. She wasn't the one to calm Janelle down. It was always our dad. Our dad was Janelle's best friend. She literally, in her eyes, he was God. Janelle is a snotty brat. She's used to getting what she wants and doesn't happen anymore. She said she wishes it was my mom gone and not our dad. That girl has been through so much in her life, but underneath it all, she is the most amazing kid you would ever meet. My fear is Janelle will get worse if she doesn't get help.
Mackenzie, you've been listening to everything we've talked about so far, right?
I have.
And you're here because you are worried about Janelle.
She can be the most amazing kid you've ever met, but she's not there anymore. I mean, you've seen the videos. I mean, that's not even a fraction of what we've been through.
Yeah. Well, she is there. She is there, and you're not the problem here. This is a family issue. This whole family suffered a loss last year. Everybody did. And everybody responds differently to loss. And Mackenzie, I say to you, and Janelle, I say to you, I'm really sorry for your loss. It's a lot to deal with. It's particularly a lot to deal with when you're 13, and this was somebody that you really leaned on, right? And what do you miss most?
Everything. I miss being around him all the time. And seeing his laughter.
Yeah.
And always being around him. And him always being there for me.
Yeah.
And never leaving my side.
And it's not all or none. And this is going to seem like semantics here, but I want to talk to you about something, and I'm going to write it down for you. And you may have heard me, Mom, say this before. You know, anger is really just an outward expression of hurt, fear, or frustration. For the rest of our conversation, I don't want you to use the word anger or rage or mad or on fire or whatever. You have to take that word out of your vocabulary, and every time you would say anger, or every time you would say rage or whatever, I instead want you to say what is really behind it, which is hurt, fear, or frustration. So we talk about triggers, and you say certain things will trigger you, right? And set you off. So give me an example.
Well, I think it was like a few months ago. I went to my grandma's house and I was talking to my mom because I wanted to like redo my room. So I was like, hey Mom, like, can we maybe like go get some things for my room? And the most thing that I was asking for was a bed. So I was talking to my grandma and I was looking online and I found this one. And I asked her, I said, could we go maybe pick it up? She said, not today. So I was like, and then that's when it clicked and I started getting like hurt and I started screaming and I started getting upset because I didn't get my way.
You started getting what?
I started getting upset.
You started getting
started getting frustrated.
Okay, you started getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you started getting frustrated, then what happened?
Then I was saying that I was sick and I had a headache and I wanted to go home, but that wasn't the case. I was perfectly fine. I was just mad that I wasn't getting my way.
No, you weren't mad. You can't use that word.
Sorry. I was frustrated because I wasn't getting my way.
Okay. You were frustrated because you weren't getting your way, and you said you wanted to go home because you were hurt that she wasn't hearing what was really important to you. Is there a part of you that feels like you're entitled to get what you want because of everything you've lost?
Yeah, I felt that way.
Well, we're going to talk about that. And what I believe is the way forward for Janelle so she can move away from all of these meltdowns and all of this obsession and the inability to turn something loose. We'll be right back.
I've been watching Dr. Phil for about 9 years now. I think Dr. Phil's a very well-spoken person, and he's not afraid to give you, like, honest critiques. I think Dr. Phil can definitely help anyone out in the world. I want to talk to Dr. Phil because I want him to bring our family back together. Hopefully Dr. Phil can help me and my family.
You lost your dad, and you said you never even got a chance to say goodbye.
I had one last text with him. It was, I love you. And that was it. And it was over.
Hospital for 2 weeks before and he never came to see her because he wasn't feeling well. And the day that we came home from the hospital, that same night, probably within an hour, he went to the ER, and then he never came home.
So you guys were both struggling with some things. And,
Yeah. He
and
never
then
told me.
his came to an end. And so that's a huge frustration. I heard you say on your tape that Dr. Phil is smart and well-spoken. So, fooled another one. But I really have a very strong belief about this that I want you to hear, and that is that your reaction to your grief process is really a lot up to you. Right now, you're choosing to focus on the event of your father's death. And as a father, I can tell you that when I pass from this world, I want my boys, I want my wife and sons to celebrate all of the years I had with them, not focus on the day that I left them. And I'm going to be really disappointed if every time they think of me, it's painful. How many wonderful experiences did you have that can never be taken away from you? You have a choice. You can celebrate all of the wonderful times you had with him, or you can focus on that day that you lost him. And you're choosing to focus on the loss instead of the richness of the life that you shared. It shouldn't be something painful. It should be something that you celebrate.
We do, though, Dr. Phil.
And you do. I'm not talking to you.
As well.
I'm not talking to you right now.
Okay.
You brought her to talk to me, and
I'm sorry. I apologize.
We'll be right back. It's really important to not assume that you know what someone else is thinking or feeling, even if you hear what they say or do. You say, oh, we do that. You don't know what she's experiencing internally.
You're right, and I apologize.
You know what she might say or what you might project onto her.
Right.
I think you guys can really benefit from some practice at the things that I've talked about here. And I'm going to get you some help practicing that. We're in a pandemic. I'm going to get you a teletherapist where you guys can get around a computer screen, as corny as this may sound, actually go through some family dynamics here about how to recognize problems, avoid problems, and solve problems using some of the principles that I've talked about here. And if I do that, you'd be happy to have that help, right?
Absolutely, yes. Thank you.
You'd be happy, and you'll participate in that, right?
Of course, yeah.
That's what I want you to do, and I'm going to set this up with you through Doctor On Demand. I don't know if you've heard of Doctor On Demand before, but it's a telemedicine company. Yeah, well, we own the company, so we can make those arrangements for you. And the same, I told you parents at home, you own these situations. And if you want to have your own Doctor On Demand, just go to Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, download the Doctor On Demand app, and you can set it up. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
And you're doing a better job holding together and leading this family than you're giving yourself credit for. You've had a really uphill battle. And you've got 3 very impressive young women here. So
thank you.
Kudos to you for being a great role model and doing a good job.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
Okay? All right. I want to thank all of my guests today. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. You know I'm everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe to my wife Robin's podcast, I've Got a Secret. It'd be a great thing for you to listen to her podcast, I've Got a Secret. They talk about a lot of strategies, and not just women, but a lot of women, and talking about different things. We'll see you next time, okay?
All the girlies bounce. Take 'em to my house. Turn the but I didn't hear ya. I thought that I could fly, but woke up on the asphalt. I swear there was the last time. I've always been naive. Call it.
You know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it. Ooh, you know we gon' get it.